Right, so we're back with this Subaru, where after replacing or reinstalling the engine, we seem to have a engine management light on, which probably means I have either forgotten to plug something in or there's an air leak somewhere. So we can do two things. One is diagnose, and there is a fault code that I can see at the top there. You can just about see it. So I'm waiting for it to finish the scanning. Once it's finished, then we'll look at what the fault code is. Second, we're going to do a smoke test with my smoke tester to see if there are any leaks anywhere in the intake, or anywhere around the boost pipes or anything like that. So those are the two things that will be causing some kind of, what she's doing every now and then it stalls as well. It stalled a couple of times on the test drive, and it seems to be hunting a little bit, revving up and down a little bit. So that's normally a sign of air leak somewhere. So we'll find out in a minute where it's leaking from, if it is leaking anywhere. I'm just waiting for it to finish. It's on 79%. It's nearly there. So I'll be back. Right, so I know it's very hard for you to see this, but I'm gonna get you to see it in a sec. 2.5 turbo, trouble codes. System to lean, bank 1. That's old apparently, P0171. Right, let's take a picture of that. Okay. It's very sunny, which is nice, but not for recording. Not the greatest of the things in the world. Anyway, right, so let's pause it. Right, so as you can see, now we've cleared the fault code. What we're going to do is see if it does come back. We'll go on that, and we'll go on live pressure, live data I should say. Right, so we have what I'm looking for is right, let's start her up to begin with. Oh, better push the alarm button. This is exactly what he's doing. You can hear it in the rev range. Okay, now it's kind of on cold start. Okay, that's a good thing. Looking at the oil temp in the middle, and we're looking at oil pressure on the right hand side. That's boost. We don't need to worry about that for now. What is that sound? That's so annoying, whatever that is. Right, okay. Seems to be running spot on actually. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder if it just needed the old fault code cleared, and that's why it was running a bit rough, because it is running spot on at the moment. That is crazy. Honestly, earlier on it was running so badly. We'll wait for it to drop down on idle, come off the cold start. Definitely sounds so much better. Right. Okay. Blower fan switch. Okay. Correction. I can definitely hear air. So there's something somewhere that's causing a leak. So that's what we're going to do the smoke test next. And let's find out what's leaking. Whoop, whoop. Right, so now we're doing the smoke test, or we're going to. I've just set it up. There's the machine. It's plugged into the battery. You see the smoke coming out. So we're going to plug it into. And what I've also done, taken the air filter housing off. There's the inlet pipe for the turbo, for the whole engine. What is actually for the turbo. And then we're going to plug it in just like this. Here we go. You straight away see it. Oh right, what the hell was that? Wow, that's a hell of a lot of smoke, whatever that is. It's coming from under the inlet. Holy motherfucking piece of shit. Right, seems like there's something. See this hard pipe here? This hard pipe that goes from the turbo all the way down to here. There's an issue there. Fudge cake, man. That is not good. It's the worst place possible. Thing is, I didn't touch that at all. Right, okay, great. Right, well, at least we know where it's coming from. So we're going to try and fix it. Whoop, whoop. Right then, mate. So I found the problem. Something under this inlet manifold is where it's coming from. It's hard to spot for now. I'm going to have to do some stripping and see if I can find exactly where it's coming from. But it is definitely below this inlet manifold. I don't think it's anything I've touched myself. Looking at it, it's serious. So hard to tell exactly where it's coming from, but I've got the feeling that there's some kind of pipe or something under here, and that's what's causing it. So I'm gonna have to look into it more, mate. So I'll let you know once I've found exactly what it is. Well, I've got another leak somewhere, mate. Somewhere near the throttle body. I'm not 100% sure exactly where it is. It could be from the throttle body itself. I'm going to have to investigate that as well. Alrighty, so we're carrying on with this Subaru diagnosing air leaks is what we're doing. I found another leak which is directly below the throttle body. So what we're going to do is remove the intercooler and the throttle body and investigate, see what the hell's going on. If there's something that's popped up or something, or if something's ripped, that kind of thing. So that's the next goal. We have cured the other issue. I found a new bung in my toolbox, and as you can tell, that's fitted now. I don't have to put a clamp on it, I don't think, because it's a tapered kind of bung, so it probably won't hold anyway. But what I will ask my mate is to get a proper bung for it, and we will put a clamp on it, make sure it's never going to come off. So the old one is here, so we know what diameter we have to get. This was correct for it, so we just have to get a similar something to that, but something a bit thicker. This is really thin. That's probably why it's torn in the first place. As you can tell, it's quite bad. So yeah, alright, let's crack on and get this intercooler off. Whoop, whoop. Right, so a bit of a boo-boo on my end. I've got the wrong gasket for the throttle body. Where's the old gasket actually? Or new old gasket, hold on. So there's the gasket that is wrong. Basically, see this gap there? That shouldn't exist. And these little ear things, they shouldn't exist either. It should just be simply a square gasket in the exact same shape as that little notch there, and all the way around. And that's it. Interesting. Just looking at this design here, and I don't know where that goes to, but there's nothing to seal that bit, and there's air, some kind of air vent there. Interesting design. Alright, anyway, let's just make up a new gasket, because new one from Subaru can come tomorrow. It's too late. So what we're going to do is we're going to make up a brand new gasket as this paper. Now I'm going to see how thick this is compared to this. This might even be, I'd say that's bang on the money. Nice and thick. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make up a gasket. I'm going to see if this is any good to use as a template. I'm not going to trim it down, but I'm going to mark out the actual holes and stuff, because they'll be the same, the bolt holes. And I just got to complete the square. That's all. So yeah, let's crack on. Whoop whoop. Right, so I'm going to show you how to cut gaskets out of gasket paper. So this is the way to do it. First of all, you need a hammer, like something like that. Second of all, the surface you're going to use, nice and flat surface like this, is perfect for cutting a gasket. Then you put the paper on the actual surface that you want to cut around, and you just tap away at the edges with the hammer all the way around. And as you can see, that's the kind of dent it leaves afterwards. And I'll show you in a second what I've done to cut around it, or how I cut around it, just with the scissors really. And you just follow these lines and just trim it all the way around. It should fit perfect into the hole. And then we're going to drill the holes out for the actual for these. And again, we're going to use the same method. We're just going to hammer it, and it will give us the perfect circles. So I'll show you the end result in a sec. Whoop, whoop. Right, here we go. This gasket is now made up. As you can see, it's taken all of the edges and stuff all the way around. Does need slightly moving over, but actually what I'm going to do is trim this edge here a little bit, and we should be pretty much where we want to be. Yeah, I'm just going to take a little bit out of this corner, this edge. It's a little bit over there. Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty much perfect. So using the hammer method, just work my way all the way around. Again, for the holes, I use the hammer method to actually mark up the holes, and then use a drill bit just to drill it out. That's it, done. So that's one way to make a gasket. If you want to make a gasket, especially if it's a paper gasket, for the Subaru ones are. So perfect, brilliant. Boop, boop. Right, so we're now getting ready to finish off this Subaru repairs that we've just done. And the last thing we've just finished off is the smoke test. We've done it about 3 times. On the 2 times, which I'll show you, which I found a loose bolt there, so that was leaking out of there, pissing out. I messed up on the throttle body gasket. That was the wrong one, so I've made one fresh one up, fitted that. That's no problems. I feel like there was one more leak. What was that? Oh yeah, there was the bung. So down here, which I'll show you, was I've installed a new bung there, and the old bung, which is here, as you can tell, it was torn to pieces. It wasn't silicone done, no clip on it, nothing. So I'm not surprised that it leaked. We've lastly done a smoke test one more time. There is one thing that leaks, however, I think that's just the actuator itself, which is this solenoid, the boost solenoid. So there's not much I could do about that. That's just the solenoid itself. Finish it off. There was a fault code. The fault code was P0171, I think it was. 0171, yeah. So this is a lean condition. equaling to an air leak. So we dealt with the air leaks, no more air leaks. The car runs absolutely spot on, sweet as a nut, no issues, no oil leaks, no air leaks. And what would be interesting is on a cold start, on a cold morning, when my mate decides to start her up, we'll see how that will be the real test. And obviously earlier on when I took it out for a test drive, before I've done all these repairs, it cut out on me twice. So now it's run spot on, no issues, and we're done. That's it. He's just come to pick up his car, and he's going to go home happy bunny, hopefully, and let me know how he gets on. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Whoop whoop.